Alrighty, it looks like we are now live on YouTube. So welcome everyone. My name is Casey O'Neill. I am an adult and transfer admission counselor for Mount St. Joseph University. And today, this is the We Are MSJ transfer student panel. I am really excited to bring this to our viewers. Today, we are joined by 2 staff members and 3 students who all have experiences talking about the transfer process. And we have financial aid and the Office of Admission represented here as well. So over the next 30 minutes, we're going to give you an in-depth look as to what is going on and what it looks like to be a transfer student. So to kick things off, I already said my name. I am Casey. So let's start with introducing our student panelists. We're going to go one by one, and I'll just have you give your name, what year you are at the Mount, and what school did you transfer from? Or if there's multiple schools, you can list that too. So Noelle, let's start with you.
My name is Noelle Cabot. I have been at Mount for a year, then I'm going to my 2nd year now, and I am a nursing student.
Wonderful. And Abby.
Hi, I'm Abby. I'm a senior at the Mount, and I transferred from Cincinnati State, and I'm in the early childhood education program.
Great. And Evan.
How we doing, everybody? My name's Evan Krim. I came from Cincinnati Christian University, and I'm going to be a sophomore at the Mount. And I'm also an elementary education major.
Great. And we have 2 staff representatives here with us. So Amy, why don't you start things off for us?
Sure. My name is Amy Wolfe. I work in the Office of Admission. I am the Assistant Director for Adult and Transfer Students. And I've been working at the Mount in the admission office for the past 10 years. No, sorry, not 10 years, 8 years. Feels like it.
8 to 10, you're almost there.
I've been in Cincinnati for 10 years.
There you go. All right, Andrew.
My name is Andrew Holmer. I'm the Assistant Director of Student Administrative Services, and that's a kind of code name for financial aid and billing. I am a 2010 graduate of the Mount and a lifelong West Sider in the city of Cincinnati, I should say.
All right, West Side. So the way this is going to work is now that we've introduced everyone, I'm going to be asking various questions about the transfer process. We do have a chat box if you are watching this live on YouTube now. So any questions, you can enter it into the chat box, and we'll try to either put them in while I'm asking questions to our panelists or try to get it in at the end. So I'm going to start with our students for the first few questions. So for each of our students, could you give us an idea or what really attracted or brought you to the Mount? Because all the students I work with who do transfer here, they all have such unique and individualized stories. So could you explain to our viewers what brought you to the Mount? Let's start with Abby.
I think Amy came to Cincinnati State, and she gave her little spiel, and I was like, I'm not going to the Mount. It's so expensive. But by the time I graduated, I had went to UC and figured out how long it was going to take me to go there, and things didn't transfer as smoothly, so it was going to take longer. So then I started looking into the Mount, and it just was the best fit, the shortest time to get my bachelor's degree, and it all just kind of fell into place.
Wonderful. And I'm glad you brought up the expense part, because with Andrew, we could probably start to break down some of those myths later on about, what it's like to be a student and how to pay for classes. So Noelle, what brought you to the Mount?
I never heard about Mount before. I was a student at Cincinnati State, and I did my test to get in the program, to nursing program, and I failed the reading portion. Then I was just looking for a nursing school next to me, and I was Googling the best nursing school in my area, and Mount name just pop up, and I click on it. I search for a number to call. I was calling and they keep transferring me stuff by stuff until I reached the right person. That was Amy. And she gave me appointment at Cincinnati State. I went there and she really helped me to go through my process smoothly. And the other things is they took all my credits. The other school I was contacting, they were not willing to take my credit, but Mount take every single credit, and I don't have to take to repeat my classes over. That was the great portion too. Thank you so much, Miss Amy, again.
Absolutely. Amy, you are getting some high praise here.
I love what I do. I'm glad I could help you ladies.
All right. So Evan, what brought you to the Mount? Because your situation is very unique. I know it, but why don't you share it with our viewers?
Yeah, I was just about to say my coming up to the Mount was a little bit more crazy than these ladies. So I was at Cincinnati Christian University playing football. And then with about 6 weeks left in the semester, they told us that not just football was canceled, but the whole school was shut down. So, and that kind of took everybody by surprise, because usually you would have about a year and a half out of high school to kind of pick where you want to go and then go. I mean, now I had to do that again. I had to do that twice, but instead of that year and a half, I had 6 weeks. So once that happened, Coach Hop kind of got in contact with me. And from there, I went to the Mount, visited, fell in love with it. And you guys helped me make sure all my credits would transfer over, because that was a scary part too. But you guys helped me situate that, and here I am.
Yeah, I think, Evan, you were a dual partnership between Casey and I. I think we both worked with you.
Yep.
Yeah. And thanks for going into detail about that. The closing of that school was a very hectic time, and we were sad to see that go, but so thankful that the Mount has representatives that can help transfer students, either if your school is closing or if you're coming from, a school across the country. We are well equipped and well handled to go through these situations. So,
Absolutely.
yeah. So Evan, I'm glad you brought up Coach Hop and football. So my next question is for you. So you are an athlete at the Mount. So for transfer students, I just want to let you know, we operate at the NCAA Division III level. And Division III, there's no age gap. So you could be 30 years old and still playing football. It's a really unique opportunity. So with your first year on the football team, Evan, can you explain to our viewers, what is it like to be an athlete at Mount St. Joseph?
Absolutely. Playing football, especially college football, it's always been a dream of mine. And playing at Cincinnati Christian as a freshman, I learned quickly how you have to operate as an athlete in college, because you get this stigma that you get to college and it's football, and then you have school here and there, but people help you out, and that is completely false. When you get to college and you're an athlete, you really have to prioritize things, because you don't get to just have free reign whenever you want to, because you have people going out and trying to have fun on a Tuesday, and it's like I got to be up at 5:30 to lift. So I love being an athlete. The relationships I built with people through football and anybody through sports is great. I mean, if you come to a school and you're not playing a sport or anything, it's kind of harder for you to really get out there, because if you're living on campus, you have your roommate, and then you kind of got to go out and meet people. When you're playing a sport, you're automatically introduced to 120 guys, just right there, and then those people know people, and then you're out there. So being an athlete, like I said, I love it, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. I think it's great.
Great, and thanks for giving that perspective. And Evan brings up, athletics certainly bring that social aspect, and on top of that, we do offer intramural sports in case you're still looking to have fun athletically and not necessarily compete at the Division III level, as well as so many other clubs and organizations that we offer. So one more thing about athletics, and this question goes back to you, Evan. So you talk about, having to get up early morning for those practices. As a college student and a college athlete, how are you able to balance your schoolwork and practice, games, you name it?
Yeah. Like I said before, you just really have to, if you love something, you'll prioritize to get whatever is needed done. You don't have to be out all the time when you're out at college. If you know when the right times are to go have fun, but there's also a time where you got to sit down and study, because at the end of the day, getting a degree from the Mount is very prestigious, and that should be the goal for anybody that comes here.
I couldn't have said it better any myself. I mean, that was great. So I want to bring up another point, not related to athletics, but Abby, you are a part of a very cool and unique program we offer at Cincinnati State with our education department. So can you give our viewers an idea of what that program is like, and what has that experience been like for you?
Yeah, so I live on the east side. Sorry, Andrew. West Siders, I know you really love the West Side.
My girlfriend went to, or my girlfriend and now wife went to Anderson, so I'm very familiar with the East Side. I love the East Side too.
Okay, yeah. So I'm on the East Side. I've been here for 4 years, and the Mount is just kind of out of the way for me. It's like 30 minutes. So you guys offer classes at Cincinnati State's campus, which is like 15 minutes away, which is much easier to work into my schedule. And the classes are super small. There's like 5 to 7 of us, and every Monday, Wednesday, and just that location is super ideal, which kind of drew me to that program in the beginning.
Yeah, we are super fortunate to have the partnership we have with Cincinnati State. It's where a bulk of our transfer students come from, and it's a really unique program that our School of Education was able to build with Cincinnati State. So you don't really get that experience of what it's like to always be on our campus, but I know you take a lot of pride in being a Mount student. So can you tell us about how advising works with the School of Education, and really what are your faculty members like? Are they coming from Mount St. Joseph to Cincinnati State?
Yeah, so I usually go to the Mount to schedule my classes just because I like that in-person interaction, and my advisor is really great. She also will come to Cincinnati State sometimes just to check in on everyone, see how everybody's doing. The communication with her and just all of my teachers in general is really great. We had people coming in late to class, and we ended up moving the whole class time just because it was so small, and it just worked well for everyone. So very flexible, convenient, and it seems to work.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen that myself. I have done, along with Amy, done some presentations in those Cincinnati State education classes, and very small, very intimate. Absolutely. At the Mount as a whole, we are very small class sizes, but Cincinnati State may even be smaller if you need that closer attention to detail when it comes to learning.
Yeah, it definitely helps me pay attention, just because and even when I don't show up to class, people know.
Oh yeah,
I'm getting texts or calls hey, are you coming?
That comes with the territory of those small classes.
So it's good accountability as well.
Yeah, it's great accountability. I'm glad you brought that up, because oftentimes when I meet with transfer students, they start out at bigger schools, either in the area or back where they're from. And oftentimes they get lost in the shuffle, in a sense, where they're just a number in a big classroom. And that's one of the things I love about the Mount, that we have that personalized attention with our fellow students, our faculty members. People are texting you, holding you accountable. You're not the first person to say that. It's a very real thing. So to piggyback off of talking about Cincinnati State, so I wanted to give this to you, Amy. So Abby, you were a member of the Connection Scholar Program, and you received a pretty cool scholarship with that. So for any Cincinnati State, and this also applies to students at Gateway Community and Technical College in Kentucky, Amy, can you tell us what the Connections Program is and what are the qualifications, the perks, you name it?
Sure. So we have a Connection Scholars Program that's available to the students that are attending those two community colleges. And essentially, it's a way for our students that want to connect here, well, their students connecting to the Mount, for them to take advantage of Mount resources and opportunities before they even get to us. So it kind of gets you that exposure to the Mount's campus. And then it ends with ideally you completing your associate's degree at one of those institutions, transferring to the Mount full time. With a 3.0 and that happening, you can get another $2,500 for an annual scholarship. And that gets it's a stackable scholarship. So it gets tied to your transfer scholarship that you would come in with. Essentially, all a student has to do to apply is have 15 credit hours completed over at Gateway or Cincinnati State, have a 3.0. They get on our website and there's a really quick form to fill out. I verify the GPA and your credit hours essentially with some staff members at that school, and you're admitted into the program. Some of the perks that you get prior to your transfer would be coming to our games and events for free. So you can set up a Mount email account so you can start knowing what's happening on our campus. So if we have different guest speakers or something like that that's interesting to you, you'll know about those opportunities. You can also use like our 24-hour computer lab in our library. Another way for our students to learn about us before they actually become a Mount student.
Thank you so much for speaking on that, Amy. This program was really born out of the idea is how can we better our partnerships with our community colleges in the area, both in Kentucky and Ohio. And this program is designed to really get you acclimated to that 4-year school, because oftentimes I myself am a community college student. It's a big difference. For those who have been at Cincinnati State, you can certainly agree just the culture and being at the school is just different than being at a 4-year school. So we do this very intentionally to get you ready to know what it's going to be like to be a student at the Mount.
And I think, a lot of students are looking for that affordability piece, especially when you start at that community college level. A lot of times you're going there because it's affordable. And we have articulation agreements. They're pre-planned pathways that we can help you with to connect your credits to one of our majors over here. And so we do, trips out to the community colleges, and we can talk more about that. But essentially, we're there to help you select good classes in partnership with what you have to do at that school. But try to maximize the transfer credit, get this additional transfer scholarship, the Connection Scholarship, and stack it on top of that. And I think Abby mentioned it earlier. She didn't even think that we would be an affordable option for her. But when you start putting the puzzle pieces together, the scholarship opportunities and the way that you can transfer your credits when you have the support there, being a private school, we can still be that very affordable option for students.
And that's a wonderful segue into Andrew being our financial aid rep here. It just flowed so smoothly right there. So Andrew, working in financial aid, you are dealing with every student that steps on campus, whether they're an incoming freshman or a transfer student. So what is your best piece of advice to a student who wants to fill out the FAFSA or really just wants to maximize the financial aid they get so that they can best afford their time at the Mount?
Sure. I think Amy made a really good analogy when she said it's like fitting together the puzzle pieces, because there are different aspects of financial aid. There's merit-based aid, and these are like the transfer scholarships that are based largely on your GPA, which is really important to try to come up with the highest GPA possible. The better student you are, you're typically rewarded for that financially as well. So that's an important piece. But, there are other stackable scholarships that we have. The FAFSA is always a great starting point. Again, there's merit-based aid. Need-based aid is another important component. And Abby touched on this, and I think many private schools in general get mischaracterized as being, I can't afford it, it's way too expensive. Again, when you put all the puzzle pieces together and the merit-based scholarships, you fill out the FAFSA, if you have financial need, not only can you receive need-based funds from the federal government or from the state of Ohio if you're an Ohio student, you can also receive need-based funds from the university. So we also give out need-based funds as well. So it's really about, one, completing the FAFSA, two, making sure you talk to your admission counselors, talk to your financial aid officers, make sure that you're exploring all your options. And then the third piece is kind of what I like to say, it's on the student. And this is the outside third-party possibilities. These are, outside organizations, professional organizations that you or your family belong to. Student employment is one that I see a lot. There are multi-billion-dollar companies, Home Depot, Chipotle, people that offer tuition reimbursement and different things like that. I just think when you look at the landscape, it is a puzzle. And again, I'm here to help you try to figure that out along with you guys. But it's really important to try to look at all the aspects of it: merit-based, need-based, outside employment type aid, and to put it together. And I think people will be surprised if they explore all those avenues. I think that, again, you will realize that the affordability aspect, it can be a misconception for sure.
You're totally right on that. And so I get that question all the time. How can I get the most out of my money? And just really echoing what Andrew said, don't stop asking those questions. Continue searching. Are there scholarships at the school? Are there scholarships in the Cincinnati area, which I myself have come across? I mean, we have some big companies here, Procter & Gamble, some other nonprofits in the area that are always looking to help students out. So if you have those questions, keep searching. You can always reach out to one of us with those questions about financial aid. And so another quick question about financial aid. This is another one I get very often.
Sure.
When a student submits a FAFSA to our university, when should they expect to hear back from you on an award package?
So great question. First step, and I say this every time, is to be admitted. Make sure that you're admitted. Make sure that you have all your transcripts in, that you're on the same page as your admission counselor. And once you're officially admitted to the university, you have to complete the FAFSA. Please make sure you add the Mount as one of the schools to receive the FAFSA. If you do not add a school, they cannot just magically pull your FAFSA out of thin air. You have to give them the right to do that, and you do that by adding them either by their 6-digit federal school code, or you can search by state and name and add them. Once you do that and you hit submit on your FAFSA, we pull that in about 1 to 2 business days. And if you're fully admitted, we have everything that we need, and there are no issues with the FAFSA. Students will be awarded in approximately 1 to 2 weeks. You get a financial aid package in the mail showing you, again, your merit-based scholarships that you qualify for, any need-based grants from the federal government, state government, the Mount St. Joseph University, as well as loan eligibility and things like that.
Great. Thank you, Andrew.
Sure.
So I want to dish this off to Noelle. Noelle, you mentioned at the beginning of this that you are an MSJ nursing student, and that is one of our most prestigious majors at the university. We have been a university for 100 years now, and nursing was actually one of those first majors that were offered to students. So can you give viewers an idea of what it's like to be a nursing student at Mount St. Joseph?
Being a nursing student at Mount is really great. It is even precious because, like, when we go to clinical and people see Mount St. Joseph, it's like, oh, are you from Mount? And say, yes. They look like it is envious. They envy us to be like at Mount St. Joseph. And the great thing is the lab is open. I did attend nursing school before. You cannot access the lab all the time like Mount. Mount lab is open 24 hours, 7 days. Then I can, even if I have skill 8, I can get up and be in the lab at 5 or 4 to practice my stuff before 8 o'clock. And the other things is all the teachers, they really care about us. They care about your success. They don't mean to fail you. Like if you fail a test, like personally, I failed one test, and I scheduled an appointment with my teacher, and she went and did the detail with me, and she made me make a study guide, and she read it step by step. And she told me what I need to put in my study guide to be successful the next test. And I didn't see this in none of my school. Yeah, they really care about how you're going to be successful, how you will be a great nurse. Mm-hmm. And I really recommend it a lot.
And so you can see just from that example, this is how you get treated as a student here at our university. The faculty, the staff, they go out on a limb. If you are struggling, if you need assistance, it makes working here, being a representative of the university, so much better in my eyes. It's always wonderful to hear that our students are having this very same experience. So yes. I'm glad you touched on the nursing labs, because I myself just got to visit the simulation lab for the first time in March. And I thought it was just one of the neatest labs I've ever been in on a college campus. I've never seen anything like it. And so just to hype up the viewers who are considering nursing or a career in the health sciences, could you tell us more about what a nursing student expects to see in these labs? Because some people may have an idea of what a lab looks like, but I'm so blown away with how awesome ours is. Could you go into detail as to what this lab looks like?
Yeah, we have the mannequin we used to work on, and we have like the name we used to give. We used to give in each mannequin. Behold, we have bracelet in there, and we have towels. Like if you want to bathe a patient, we have every single stuff you have in hospital setting to take care of patient. We have the same item over there. We have bath area, little bath area to take. Every single stuff, we have it over there. We have med cabinet over there in case you need to give medication. We have IV pole. We have every single stuff you have over there to be successful. The same stuff you can find in hospital area, we have it over there. Like stuff to transport the patient, gate belts, wheelchairs. We have everything. It is full. Personally, I didn't miss anything from my lab time. Yeah, we always have everything. If something is missing, or if a bed is not working, we just need to get in touch with Professor Needham, and she will fix it immediately. The same week, she will fix it. Yeah, it is a great area. I really love it.
Yeah, it sounds like it, because we know with nursing, academically, it's going to be rigorous. You really have to know your chemistry, your biology, you're really hitting the science books hard. But with our lab, this now gives our students the opportunity to have that hands-on experience that you're never going to get out of a book. The book is obviously the first crucial part, but actually getting to practice that is so crucial for our nursing students. Awesome. So one thing I did not bring up, and Amy, I wanna ask you this question. So if a transfer student's watching this and they're just sold, they think this panel is wonderful, and they want to get a taste for what it's like to be a student at Mount St. Joseph. What are their first steps in the admission process, and what will we need to welcome them as a member to our university?
Yeah, definitely. Great question. So if you ever want to visit the university, you can go to msj.edu/visit. We've got in-person opportunities. We have virtual opportunities. We have Zoom opportunities. However you want to meet with us, we can meet with you and talk to you about your situation. To apply, you can do so online, just msj.edu/apply. And as a transfer student, we are looking for a minimum of a 2.0 GPA and 12 semester hours of transferable credit. So sometimes we'll get that student. So let's say there's a 2020 high school graduate watching this right now, and they go off to another university and they transfer to the Mount for the spring semester. So they didn't complete a whole year. So they don't necessarily have the 12 credit hours satisfied by the time they apply. What we're going to want is your official high school transcript at that point and any test scores. So if you took an ACT or an SAT, we want to see that. We can work with you if you never took one of those tests or they're older than 4 years. But yes, we are looking for your formal application, official college transcripts, and we want a 2.0 and 12 semester hours of transferable credit. Now, some programs, they look for other GPAs. So like nursing, you have to have a higher GPA to transfer into that major. But to enter into general university good standing, it's that 2.0 benchmark.
Great. Awesome. Thank you so much for all of your insight on admission and all of our panelists here. So as we start to wrap up on the 30-minute mark of this panel, I have one more question that I think is really important to ask everyone involved, just to give our viewers even more of a great feeling as to what it's like to be here. So for our students, my question is for each and every one of you is, what is your favorite part about being a student here at the Mount? So Evan, I haven't heard from you in a while. So why don't you tell us what's your favorite part about being a student here?
My favorite part is just the relationships that I built. It doesn't matter if it's students, faculty members, our security. Everybody's just so loving and so accepting. When I came in from CCU, it was kind of scary. Like, oh, I've never kind of moved into a new school, and I never really planned to. But, you know, moving in, it was just, it was like nothing happened. I created friends that I talk to on a daily basis now. I talk to Casey quite frequently, actually. I mean, it's just the relationships for me that I love the most. There's more. There's 1,000 things I could go into, but for me, I think the relationships that I built just with everybody really has attracted me to the Mount and doesn't want me to leave ever. So.
Well, good. We want you to stay as long as you can, whether that means bachelor's, master's, doctorate. I mean, we could go down the road, but generally when people come to our campus, they stay for quite some time, and we are thrilled to have you here. So Noelle, what is your favorite part about being a member of our Mount community?
My favorite part is Mount bringing me closer to God, because I'm Catholic. And every morning before I even step in my class, I will stop by the church and pray. And mostly every Tuesday or Thursday, if I'm not busy, I will go to Mass as well. Then it really increases my spirituality. And that is a great thing for being a human being.
It's great. And the Mount, we take so much pride in our roots, our spirituality roots, being founded by the Sisters of Charity 100 years ago. There's still so much an integral part of who we are. We have the Mother House right across the street. If you ever would like to visit our campus and get to know the sisters, they are just a lovely group of people. And you mentioned stopping by the chapel. If you are just a fan of architecture as a whole, the modern day chapel on our campus is magnificent, just adorned with stained glass. The pews are always looking extra clean and super nice. It's a chapel that is built and designed by Mount students in the 1960s and 70s. And it's got a lot of rich history and a beautiful place on campus. So thank you for bringing that part up, Noelle. All right, Abby, for our last student, what is your favorite part about being a member of our community?
You just said it. My favorite part is the community. At least in my education program, it feels like everyone is on the same page. Everyone wants each other to succeed, and it's just a very uplifting, welcoming community. Just the atmosphere is very positive, and that's my favorite part.
Great. Well, sorry if I stole your thunder by talking about community. I think that's a great way to describe it. A really welcoming, nurturing area where both staff, students, we can all collaborate and always reach out if we ever have those questions or just want to learn more about our school. So for our staff members, starting with Amy, you've been here for 8 years. We confirmed this earlier. What is your favorite part about working here at the Mount?
Definitely everybody says the community, but I'll go with saying that every transfer student is unique and they have their own puzzle. And I just want to be here to help them problem solve and find their next best fit. So, you know, you see some transfer students that come in, Evan, shoot, your school closed down, right? Abby, you graduated. Noelle, you came and, you know, wanted to transfer into the nursing program. That looks a little bit different, you know? So like everybody has their own like situation. And I just feel like my job is pretty cool because like I get to piece things together and just help people feel comfortable about their decision and know about their decisions, because there is so much to navigate out there and I get it. And sometimes like some people have help from their parents that have been through college, some don't. Some are coming from out of state, some are local, some are looking for that affordability piece. Like everybody is so different. And so I just love being able to connect with everybody on an individual basis and help them get to the Mount and succeed here. So.
Great. Thank you, Amy.
Mm-hmm.
So Andrew, our lifelong West Sider, what is your favorite part about working and you're obviously a student at the Mount. What's your favorite part about this?
So I'm going to echo, it's a community. It's always the people. And as a student, I went to the Mount and I experienced it. You know, walking to the aid office, everyone is willing to bend over backwards to help you, to talk to your advisors, to visit the Office of Admission. It is so personalized. And when Noelle talked about, she's thanking Amy, it's so genuine, you know, to help students and stuff like that. It really is what makes the job special. And I love being able to do that. And I felt it as a student, and I just want to continue to do that as an employee here at the Mount. So definitely the people that I work with, I love working with you guys in the Office of Admission. I love helping our students and to make, you know, the dream of achieving a 4-year degree and getting a great career, to make that a reality for someone and to help them figure out how to do it. It really does. It makes you feel good about what you do. So I think that's why we all do it. It's certainly not for incredibly high salaries or anything like that. It's very rewarding to help students.
I can speak for us who work there. We're not millionaires, but we do love the work that we do. I have been here for coming up on a year now, and the community every single day, even despite having to learn how to go on at home during a pandemic. That was a challenging time, I think, for all of us, students and staff. And we're still seeing how everyone is there for each other. Those resources are still available. And if you're watching this, and if you're also sitting in that kind of murky water thinking, I don't know what my next step is, this is a scary time we're all living in. I hope you've taken a lot of great things away from this panel. And I hope you know that when it comes to transferring, I can speak for Amy on this, that we are here to assist you in any way possible, whether it be financial aid, or if you're looking into athletics, or maybe the Cincinnati State program, or nursing. We all have very powerful voices who have been a part of this panel. So if you have those questions, never hesitate to reach out to us. We're on social media. Our website's very user-friendly. If you need to call us, email us, or even visit us on the West Side. We are now taking appointments for less than 10 people, and you have to wear your mask. But we are excited to be back, and we hope one day, if you're watching this, that you join us one day. So thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.